Welcome back to It Was Never a Face Cards. My name is TJ, and we have some more Destined Rivals stuff coming out. This is going to be our Elite Trainer Box promo. Now, there was some speculation. I was hearing some rumors. Even PokeBeach was talking about how they thought that this card was going to potentially have Jesse and James featured. Obviously, we have Wobbuffet, so it would have made a lot of sense to have Jesse and James. It seems like maybe they're kind of just moving on. They've moved on from Ash. They've moved on from Jesse and James now. So that's a little bit unfortunate for us older collectors. We probably wanted that nostalgia. I know I did. But I do think that this still is a fun Wobbuffet card. Obviously reflects Team Rocket. You got a Drowsy in the corner. You got the Grunts all hanging out. You got a Sneasel. They're chilling. They got some snacks. So I do think that it's a fun and interesting card. Also, it looks like this is a Persian LED sign in the background. There's a Giovanni picture over here. So a lot of detail happening in this card. A lot if you start to look really closely. There's going to be a lot of stuff to find in this card. I do think it's a fun promo. I do think it doesn't really compare as well towards some of the better ETB promos of the era. So in the Pokemon Center ETB, we'll be getting a stamped version of this, and then the regular ETBs will just have obviously an English version of this card. So yeah, I think like the Eevee from Prismatic, the Snorlax 151, definitely the Charmander from Obsidian Flames. I like those ones a lot better. But let me know in the comments if you guys like this Wobbuffet card. I know that there's a lot of Wobbuffet fans out there. So super silly, derpy Wobbuffet, a fan favorite for sure. So maybe I'm just a little bit underestimating, the Wobbuffet love out there because, obviously he's fun. It's a fun Pokemon. So, but yeah, this is what we have for the PC ETB. I did want to just go back over that situation just very briefly before we move on with a little Pokemon market update. But I just wanted to talk about, the whole the ETB drop, the whole thing with the Pokemon Center and all that, just very quickly. The queue system and all that, the frustration being out there, very valid. Very, I just want to give you guys a time to acknowledge that like the frustration is real. Okay. I'm in the same boat as you guys. I have spent hours. So last week, when we thought the drop was going to happen Thursday and then we thought it was going to happen Friday, I'm with you guys. I've spent hours trying to get the drops. Like I was up at 4 a.m. Pacific time because we didn't know when the drops were going to be. Staying up, waiting by the computer all the way until, and then I did the same thing on Friday, and then obviously Monday, when the actual drop happened, waiting in the queue. I was lucky enough to get one ETB, and that's all I was able to get. So I was one of the lucky ones, but it did take hours to get there. So I feel for everybody who didn't get some. I want to celebrate those who did. Congratulations. Like, let's go. But I'm in the boat of I got one ETB and that's all I was able to secure. So anyways, I don't want to talk about it too much longer, but I just wanted to bring it up. Like, we're all kind of in the same boat together, right? And we'll try and move forward. Try and be. It's hard to be positive. Like I'm trying to be as positive as I can for you guys moving forward, and not because there's a lot of negativity about everything that's going on, and it's totally valid. It is, but so yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. But let's move forward, and I wanted to just talk about this card just for a second. So this is a TCG Pocket card. Just look how beautiful this card is. I know we're not getting this in the actual TCG, but this card really caught my eye and was absolutely stunning. Now we're not gonna look through all of these. This is from the Shining Revelry set that just got announced, and then there's a really nice Giratina. I think that's really cool. But this Pikachu card really caught my eye, and I was like, man, can we get some of these in the TCG? The pocket side is absolutely killing it. Yeah, awesome artwork. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this card. Absolutely stunning. But then we have a little Pokemon market update for you guys. I wanted to talk about some cards that have been moving that we haven't really talked about. So, Megas are returning. And so we're seeing a big bump in Megas on the TCG side. A lot of them like anticipatory excitement, whether people are buying them up because Megas are coming out or just people are going, oh yeah, I really like Megas, whatever the case may be, combination maybe. We're seeing cards like this, the Mega Gardevoir from the Radiant Collection shoot up 226%. 3 months ago this was a $34 card, and now we're seeing like 114, 113 on the Mega Gardevoir. And if we zoom out right here, we can see 441% on the year. Looks like the low was just barely sub 20 July of last year, but pretty much around a $20 card. And now we're seeing well over 100 on the Mega Gardevoir. So a lot of excitement for the Megas moving forward. People are really excited about it, and we're seeing that come through. We got Mega Houndoom. This is from Breakthrough. This one's up 224% in the past 3 months. This was a sub $20 card 3 months ago, and now we're seeing it in the 60s. So big percentage gain on that. There's not that many copies currently listed on TCG Player, as you guys can see right here. There's only 9. And if we zoom out right here, we'll see 348% growth on the year. $13 card a year ago on the Mega Houndoom, up to 60 now. So once again, a lot of massive growth on these cards. And then I got to talk about some Gyarados cards. My favorite Pokemon, who looks like unfortunately is not getting an IR or SIR in the new set on Destined Rivals. Dang. I'm really bummed about that. But anyways, Mega Gyarados from Breakpoint. The full art here up 84%. This is where I like these cards a lot in general, with the text flying across. And obviously, being a big Gyarados fan, this is one of my favorites. It's up 85%. And 3 months ago, this was a $40 card, and now we're seeing it around in the 70s. Once again, you're going to see low supply on this one on TCG Player, not that many copies available. If we zoom out right here, 150%. Now you can see this one was steadily climbing. It was $30 a year ago, and it just was slowly, look at, chugging up to around 40 or just under 40 before like kind of the big boom happened recently, and that's what shot it up more. But it was on a steady climb for a while, so some really organic, nice, steady growth on the Mega Gyarados there. Then we have another insanely nice Gyarados from Breakpoint. It's not a Mega, but it is up pretty big, 99%. Obviously, pairing it with the Greninja. This is a stunning card, Shining Gyarados and Greninja. Absolutely beautiful. This one's up almost 100% in the past 3 months, from $50 up to over 100 now. Market at 100. Most recent sale around $118 on the Gyarados. We'll do the zoom out on the 1 year. It's not really up that much more on the 1 year than the 3 months. So all of this growth coming recently on this card, you can see. Looks like the 1 year low was sub 50, just like high 40s. But a year ago, $51. That's where this card was at. This is a nice Gyarados card that I do not have in my collection. It is extremely pricey in a PSA 10, and that's my goal. But I think I need to start readjusting my goals for some of these cards and settle for raw copies. And this is advice that I try to give. It's hard to follow sometimes. Is if you can be happy with raw copies or with PSA 9s or with PSA 8s, and then grow your collection that way, your money will go a lot further, right? And then later down the road, if you want to or can, you can upgrade those copies. So that's kind of something I'm really trying to adopt myself, and I started doing that more recently, picking up some PSA 9 copies of some vintage cards. So something I'm trying to practice as well as like say, right? You gotta walk the walk, talk the talk. So something I'm implementing currently in my collection. So this is maybe one of those cards that I need to be okay settling for a non PSA 10 copy until I can kind of justify making that happen someday. So this is one I really need for my collection, but should have got it back here. But that happens to everyone, and you can't time everything perfectly. So just another example of I screwed up a little bit, but it happens. So absolutely stunning card, not a Mega, but another Mega Gyarados. Now this is a one of the more affordable ones from Breakpoint, and it's not like the full art here. You can see it, but really cool card as well. I like this one a lot. You got all the waves going at the bottom of the card. It's super nice. It's up 66% in the past 3 months, from 24 up to around 40 on the 1 year. You can see it's up a little bit more, 116%. This was a sub $20 card back here, and now we're in the 40s. Lower-ish quantity available. So once again, supply playing a factor on a lot of these older cards. There's really not that many available. You can see like in the past year, only 153 copies have sold in the past year of this card on TCG Player. So that also is a little interesting point of data. Every time I pull up the page, you can see it here, even if I don't touch on it. So I do think that sometimes that can be a little bit fascinating to see how few or how popular a card can be. So yeah, interesting information. Actually, let's do this. In the past month, 13 have sold versus 153 on the whole year. So yeah, a lot of nice Gyarados cards, a lot of nice megas. We got more megas coming up. But first, real quickly, we are doing a giveaway on the channel, trying to give back to the community. This video right here, it'll be linked at the end of the video as well. But I'm giving away the biggest giveaway I've ever done. Surging Sparks booster box, Prismatic ETB, Japanese 151 booster box, PSA 10, other stuff, other prizes as well. So if you guys want to have a chance to enter, do yourself a favor and check out this video. Watch it all the way through if you can. I would greatly appreciate it. And that's just my way of saying thank you as we push towards 20K subs. Let's get back to the cards for a minute, though. More megas. Mega Gardevoir. This one's from Steam Siege. You can see right here. This one's up 201% in the past 3 months. Very, very big growth. Coming from a sub $20 card to around $57. You can see there is a most recent sale. If we look on here, some a lot higher, in the 60s, and even one as high as $100 for the Mega Gardevoir. Low supply, only 9 copies available there currently. 1 year chart, 434% growth on the Mega Gardevoir. This was a $10 card a year ago, and now we're seeing a sale at 100. You can see these are everything that's listed from 64 all the way up to 100 down here. So Mega Gardevoir on the move. We got Mega Lucario here. Now this was a promo, an alternate art promo right here. Wish this scan was a little bit better. It looks like it's a little bit lower quality, but this is another nice looking Mega, 192%. And something, obviously we're talking about the Megas because they're moving, but because we're going to see them, right, come back to the TCG. And it's starting to get me a little bit more excited, starting to see them more, because I'm thinking like these older Megas, I think they look really cool. I love the textifying. I love the vibe that they chose, like the style. What are they going to do? Like, the art has been so good lately. Like, how great are these cards going to be doing the megas now? I think they might look absolutely stunning if they do it right, which it seems like they will, because they've been really, all the debacle of everything, happening with, them not printing enough and all of that stuff aside, the art that they have been putting out is absolutely stunning. So they've been nailing the art, I feel like, across the board with Scarlet and Violet era. So moving into the new era with the megas and stuff, I think they're going to continue to do it justice. But 192% growth, going from a $22 card up to a $65 card. So these megas, man, people love them. This one doesn't have quite as low of a supply, around 38 copies, so not those single digits. But you can see, if let's say on the 1 year, 206 sold in the past year, 289% growth. So yeah, most of that growth coming recently. Like I said, a lot of attention being brought to megas coming back. So that's what's doing it, in combination with the boom, right? So it's a little bit of a combination of both. So Mega Lucario, they're a nice promo. Let's see, lowest listed is around $62, which is just a little bit below current market price for lowest listed there. And then we have some team up cards that have been moving, not quite to the same extent as some of the megas, but we had some pretty big growth, and I do think it's worth talking about, and a few cool cards. Gengar and Mimikyu from Team Up 41% in the past 3 months, and you can see, check out this most recent sale. You can see there's a few, obviously it's fluctuating. Like this is a Chinese one, so we're going to ignore that. There's a $400 sale, which is pretty low comparatively to some of these other sales. You got an $800 sale, an $800 sale, a $775, and a $950 last sold. They got market at $564, so that would be really low compared to the most recent sales. They put a little volatility thing up right here because it's been kind of crazy. 41% growth just in the past 3 months, from 380 up to 540, but those recent sales are really high. And we can see lowest listed right here, 790, 800. So it looks like that's going to hold, and then you got somebody listing at like 1500. So we'll see where the Gengar Mimikyu ends up, but those recent sales are pretty big. And let's see, 13 sales in the past 3 months. We'll zoom out to the 1 year. Only 57 sales on this in the past year on TCG Player. 103% on the year. $227 a year ago in April. So you can see it was like kind of steadily climbing, and then obviously a lot more rapid growth recently. So if we get a few more sales and a little bit more time and this chart starts to update and we stay in that $800 mark, these are pretty very massive percentage growth gains that we're going to see there on the Gengar and Mimikyu. Then we have another card team up. We got the Eevee and Snorlax, the adorable, just the Eevee chilling on the Snorlax belly. 75% growth on this one just in the past 3 months, from $54 up to around 95. They got market at 106, and they're showing most recent sales 200 and near 200 and just below 200 and 180s. That seems very high. But let's see, lowest listed. We don't want Chinese cards. You can pick up a Chinese copy for in the $20 mark, but other than that, you're at around $200. Once again, this is very low supply. So when there's low supply in the market, prices are going to go up. So supply and demand, obviously, on the Eevee and Snorlax there. So keep that in mind. All the growth pretty much coming most recently. You can see it was starting to climb back here up into the $60 mark, and then obviously pretty massive jump on the Eevee and Snorlax. Obviously, Team Up being a very popular set, so it's not totally surprising, but nice card. Nice card from the set as well. And then this is one of my favorites too. I like the Magikarp and Whale Lord. It's not up as big, but it is up 20%. And I just wanted to touch on it because it's one of my favorite cards. Come on, I gotta talk about it. Magikarp and Whale Lord, 20% growth from sub 300 to 360. So it's not like, once again, it's not like the massive percentage gain, but this one, going up like essentially $60 pretty quickly is, it's a significant little jump there. And low supply available, 12 copies. We'll look at the most recent sales. We do have one as high as 400 and 389, and then back here, 485, 450, another 450 back here. This was in February, so this was a little bit ago. So we'll see where it ends up, but really nice looking card. I do love this one a lot. Let's see what the growth is on the year, though. 44% on the year, so not as crazy on the year. It's kind of been, it was in this $250 range for a while, and then it slowly started climbing, obviously, and then, more recently, it shot up bigger. So really nice card, another team up card that's moving. If you want an English copy, it looks like lowest listed English copies right now are on TCG are around 400. So this card probably continuing to rise, it looks like, on TCG Player. So we'll see. Sometimes the charts take a while to update when there's not that many sales, so it might take a little bit for this one to update. But Magikarp and Whale Lord, that percentage gain, if things, it shows 20% here, but if we're getting sales in the 400s, that would make that percentage gain look a lot bigger. So we'll see where it levels off at. Interesting to note there. So Magikarp and Whale Lord, keep an eye on it. Like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. We do post daily videos, so we'll touch on it in the future as things unfold there. And then I wanted to jump back to some modern cards. Now, one of these cards we just talked about, I believe it was yesterday, but some of these prismatic cards, the special illustration rares, they're all just as difficult to pull, the SIRs, right? And we're seeing the Iron Crown, which is a very cool art design, very cool pattern. You can see, pre-release or at release price, $887.50. It came back down to 48, and now it's like kind of surpassing that. We're seeing it surpass that number right here. So if we look at the 1 month, up 60%. We got market at 92 with most recent sales over $100. We're seeing 120s, 130s. There are some as low as 87 here. So the Iron Crown starting to gain some value, is probably undervalued considering how hard it was to pull, considering how hard it is to find product, considering the pack price and all that stuff, right? You have to open a lot of packs to pull this card. And, obviously you want to pull one of the evolutions, but if you don't, that's something that happens, right? And so $48, obviously a bit undervalued when you start to factor all that stuff in. So now maybe getting a little bit more appropriately valued here, the Iron Crown. So let's see what lowest listed is. If we get past these cards, Japanese, it's around 110-ish, which is a little bit above market, but below some of those more recent sales. So Iron Crown, and then I have to talk about it just one more time. If you watched yesterday's video, most recent videos, we talked about this card, but it's kind of doing the same thing, right, as the Iron Crown, but obviously more popular. The Roaring Moon, Shinji Kondo artist, right here. Stunning card, absolutely stunning. This is uh, a great card from the set that I absolutely love, and this one's up 47% in the 3 months and 51% in the last month alone, surpassing the $300 mark. Once again, it makes sense coming from Prismatic being extremely hard to pull. And pack prices being very expensive, it just makes sense to me. You can see very consistent sales all in the 300s right here, besides like a Japanese copy and a Japanese copy. You exclude those, and you're all in the $300 mark. So very consistent, holding that $300 price. We'll see if it just holds that for a while. Lowest listeds are right around there in the $300 mark for the Roaring Moon. So we kind of end the video off there, but I do want to get everyone's feedback once again on the Team Rocket, the Wobbuffet promo card. Let me know how it like how it ranks for you guys amongst the other promos. If it's maybe in your eyes it's like one of the best promos of the SV era as far as the ETBs go, let me know. Maybe it's mid, whatever you guys think. And then yeah, also if anyone has any thoughts on the megas moving, before we get our mega sets, like what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I do like to get the conversation going in the comments. I think it's really fun just to get everyone's different opinion. And then if you want to vent about the Pokemon Center queue or anything like that, feel free. Totally justifiable, and I'll sympathize with you guys there. It's been a bit rough. So yeah, that's all we have for this one, guys. It was just a little bit of a Destined Rivals update, and then just a little market update. And enter the giveaway. It should be popping up somewhere around here. But that's all I have for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.